Hey everybody, check it out. Yes, this is the Avios Albatross. Pretty amazing looking classic flying boat design. You can see it's got the US Navy livery on it. It's got twin Aerostar reversing speed controls. It's got it like that. Water resistant clearly because it's made to go on water. Water rudder, pre-installed electronics, has navigation lights. Just awesome. Awesome. Box art is awesome. Let's see here, a few more specs. Sorry about the glare. Here it talks about the propellers, the 3-bladed 10x6, your 30 amp ESCs. Here's what the wingspan is, 63.7, the length of 47.6. There's your motors. Yeah, good looking box. Show you what's on each side of it here. Nothing on that side or the other side there, but there's not a lot of information out on this yet, not a lot of videos. I've seen it taking off of grass, so it clearly has plenty of power. Twin engines, so there you go. So I'm going to get it out of the box here and I'll show you what you get. Just so you can kind of see how it's packaged, here's how it comes. Got your wing panels. You'll notice the linkages are already pre-installed. Huge props for that. Here is the little floats that go out on the wings. This would be your midsection. You can see all the wires are bundled up and everything. There's flaps, linkages all pre-installed. Just an awesome color scheme. It's got little scale exhaust. Just looks perfect. Looks perfect. And there you can see how the rest of it is in there. Here you've got your big old rudder. Again, linkage is already on it. Just looks good. Oops. Here we have your scale propellers. Look fantastic. Hub detail. Here is your elevator. You can see it's got a little bit of a V to it. It's a dihedral, very cool. And of course the main attraction here. Oh. Back in this hole here is some spinners, some little spar pieces and screws. And then I believe that to be all. Yep. There is that amazing looking fuselage. Alright, I'm going to get everything out of the plastic and sit in here and then we'll kind of go over the parts and start assembly. Okay y'all, here's everything you get in the box. Got just a couple initial impression things that I noticed. First thing on the bottom of the fuselage here, you'll have this here whole section is plastic. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be durable. You know, if you're going to land on grass or whatever it is you're going to play on, that'll be a good thing. The big water rudder here, you notice, has a spring on it, so if you hit something, it'll flex. You got your little, one of the navigation lights is up there. Massive hatch on this thing here. This whole front section comes off. It fits very stiff. The first time was hard. I actually went up inside the fuselage here and pushed it up to get it loose. But I got it off, and it's big. It's covered in plastic, so it's never going to chip paint or anything like that. Battery bay, massive. You can see you've got tons of space in there. You can see the servos in the back here for the elevator and rudder. Water rudder. Just really cool. Just the finish, it's just perfect. Just awesome. Pretty impressed with this. Plus the size. It's very cool. That fits great. So here's your rudder. You can see you got a little pin hinge here that'll go in down below. Once you screw it in place, it'll take a couple screws. What else did we not really have? We've got the wing panels here. One thing that I really love for transport and they were smart about this, and I wish most other places were this smart. They come off outside of the engine. So most twins, they either have the wings plug in and take off, or, you know, I don't want to do that because, you know, other ones will have landing gear coming out of where the engines are. Well, then you got to try to pack the thing and transport it without it falling over. It's just doesn't make sense to me. But this really is not a very big thing. Once you take the wing panels off, that's all the wider it's going to be. So, but anyways, you got your wing panels. You can see you got your nav lights on the corner. So you'll have your navigation light wire and your aileron servo wire, which is already done. Pretty stoked about that. A little close-up of the prop hub so you can see the props. Hopefully it focuses on there for you. Nice little scale detail. These outboard, I don't know what they call them, floats, sponsons, something. But you can see they're just shaped cool. Look real. They'll screw in there from the top. Your elevator, if I can show you, moves pretty free. Should be good. Everything is pre-installed for that. Then we have the main center section here. You can see the motor up in there. Your flaps already pre-wired. You've got your, I didn't take the foam off of that, I guess I should have, but anyway, flaps are on there. You can see how they're, turn it here for you, how they're hinged and how they kind of work. Very cool. Should be very effective. Plus I love it's all done for you, right? Like, one of those tedious things is always making the linkages the right length and all that jazz. You can see in the top here you got little scale exhausts on all the motors on the top. Hope that shows up for you. Just neat, really neat. Then of course the finish is perfect. I mean, just look at that. So, yeah, I guess the next step would be just simply putting it together. In the accessory bag obviously was your two spinners for the props, and you got a couple little spars and some screws for holding stuff together. So that's really it. Not much to it. It's going to be an easy build, and I'm sure it'll be a piece of cake. So anyways, when we come back, we'll start assembling it. Okay, I'm going to put the elevator and rudder on first, obviously here. So you put the horizontal in place, you'll feed the wires up through, connect them for the servo, put them on. Don't forget you got to plug your little pin hinge in there. And then you're going to use two of these longer skinny ones out of the batch here to screw up through the bottom to put that on. So we'll get that done, we'll be back. Okay guys, before you put the tail on, you got to put some glue all over here, like where this key's in. This is upside down right now. This little channel will fit into this little channel. Make sure you feed your servo wires through, and then you want to put glue on the bottom of the vertical as well. Do not glue this. Okay, we got the tail glued on above and below the horizontal where the rudder goes. Got the two screws in here, and we got the screw in the side here to hold that hinge. So now that's all that takes to put the tail section on. Okay guys, so with these reversing ESCs, you're going to have some extra wires here. So here is going to be the reverse switch. Here we have a throttle, here we have another throttle. So you see we're going to have two throttles, and then we're going to have the flaps and ailerons, and then here's a lamp. So we'll get into that more a little bit later. And then here in the fuselage we have the rudder. So it's got one wire is going to go and come out here for the rudder servo, and the other one goes here to the, what would you call that, water rudder steering. Then the other one here, elevator, is wide, so one goes to the elevator here. The other one you'll see is a 2-wire. That's how this is powered. So got that. So we're going to get this here plugged in, get these plugged in and hooked up, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, here's how I hooked mine up. So you got throttle 1 on throttle, throttle 2 on aux 2, and then I did a mix. The reversing switch I put into the gear since there's no landing gear on it. That'll be an easy switch for me to flip. You could use whatever you want. The lights I just plugged into aux 4 because I'm not going to need those. You could wire those into any channel realistically. I plugged in the battery. Everything seems to be working fine. One thing I didn't notice initially, but the motors counter rotate. If you look at the props, you got 2 different directions props, so very cool. Make sure you put them on the right way. Probably important. Moving on. Okay, once you get the wing on, you're going to have to use the bolts, so it'll be the larger. They are Allen headed bolts. It didn't come with any, so fortunately I have some here. It doesn't say what size it is, I just pulled it out of my pack. I'll figure out what size the Allens you need. You'll need this one, and then for the wing bolts you'll also need another little guy. So I'll let you know in the description down below what I used for those. Always check my descriptions on my videos. I always put links to the things that I use and tips that I either maybe forgot in the video or just good information that you need to know. So don't forget to check below. Okay, putting the spinners and propellers on. Like I said earlier, there's a left and a right turn to these babies. They key on. You can see there's a little hex shape on there, so you'll want to lock them into, see how they're pushed on? Then put your little spinner nut on. I kind of wanted to throw them on there because I wanted to show you something else really cool here. I'm not going to do too much here, but anyways, we'll give it a quick little throttle check. I'll show you which way they go. So now, since I put the reversers on my gear switch, I'll flip my gear switch. Now they'll go backwards. See that? Pretty cool. Flip the gear switch. There they go the other way. Awesome. Just so cool. I'm assuming you could probably do a differential thrust as well and probably do a mix in with the rudder. But you know, that's totally up to you. But probably could be done. Okay, next up here we're going to put the wing on. So you're going to need the wing panel. You're going to have to hook up your lights and your ailerons. Make sure you get them hooked up properly. You got 3-wire and 2-wire. Then you're going to use the little spar, which will go in here. And then you're going to use your 2 screws to come up and screw the, you can see they're threaded, so they will go into a specific spot. So, and then that'll hold the wing panel on. So I'll get those 2 put on and then we'll be right back. Another little tip here for you guys for this wing spar. I don't know, it's very slight, but if you can see, it has a, there's definitely a top and a bottom to it because it has a little bit of dihedral. So the wing tips obviously want to go up, so you'll see how the blue I think should go to the forward of the airplane, if that makes sense, because since they are color coded. Anyway, something to keep an eye out for, because if you put it on wrong you'll have a little gap at the top of your wing up here and the screws will be even harder to get in, so make sure your wings are on properly. Okay, we got the wing panels on. The screws on the one side went pretty easy. Make sure you get the wires tucked in and your little spar in properly. This one was a little tough for me. I just couldn't get it. So what I ended up doing was taking the wing back off, and then on this side of the hole, it seems like I couldn't push the wing in far enough, and you can see how tight it is. I ended up just kind of filing the inside of the hole out on that side where this plastic piece is, and then the screw was far enough over to get into there. Your mileage may vary. Yours hopefully won't be like that. But anyways, wings are on. Only thing left is these guys, so I'm going to flip it back over and screw those babies on. Okay, for this, what I put is, you notice there's scale detail on one side, but just a seam on the other. I put the scale detail to the outside of the wing. So that's what I think looks best. Then you just use 2 of the little self-tapping screws, Phillips screwdriver, and boom, we'll be done. Okay guys, there it is. Short of just bouncing it and doing the throws, everything is hooked up and working the right way. You can see the cool nav light here. Green, you got the flasher. You got a red on the other corner there. Just a beautiful airplane. Just, wow. Cannot wait to fly this baby. The weather is supposed to be nice this coming Sunday, so if all goes well, this will fly. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to read the details down below. If you have any questions, please ask them. I will answer them. Next time you see this baby, it's going to be in the sky. Can't wait. Like, comment, subscribe. See you at the lake.